There in my beautiful home Kerala, surrounded by coconut trees, I discovered my worldview and my voice. I have learned something very useful after being in Kerala, that is, how I preserve things and gain knowledge. Also, I learned what worldview means. I also learned about things that I didn't know I knew. So understanding what worldview means can bring clarity to not only to what I believe, but how I believe what I believe. 4 years ago, I left my beautiful home covered with coconut trees and oceanside villages and towns for my new home. When I arrived in this beautiful place, the first thing I felt was not the hot sun, but the extremely warm welcome. I felt like home in a place I've never been before, and all because these people who already lived here treated me with kindness. People treated me nicely and respected my worldview, which increased my confidence. But thinking back to Kerala, people will get treated differently because over there, only some people cared about your worldview and treated you nicely. I was like that once, but now I have changed after being in Canada, and now I know how it feels to be nice to others. My worldview changed after moving here to Surrey, because after I met new people here, I made connections with them, which made my worldview grow. My worldview also changed after seeing how people treat others here. Everybody can have a change in their life, like the people in Syria. This kind of relates to my life because my life changed after being in Kerala, because the government there did not really care about their people. But after those people got tired and they started to step up for their rights, the government changed and started to care about their people. Just like that, the Syrian war has caused the death of many people, and the government has caused them pain and despair in their life. But the people in Syria are too scared to step up for their rights, which is causing them too many lives. So I think they should change their government by stepping up for their rights. I like to say that everyone in this world should be respected and treated fairly and equally, because we all have our human rights to protect us from violence. So I want everyone to think about this question and see what you have done wrong in your life and how you can change it. So this is my question for everyone. How do you see your future in this country?
They say we're all beautiful in our own way. They say we're all unique. But are we really? I know a lot of us feel we need to look a certain way for society to accept us. And it's true. Society tells us that if we want to be beautiful, you need to look like the models in magazines, even though they're photoshopped. I feel like I need to be skinny. I need to wear the latest trends. I need to wear layers of makeup. I need to have straight teeth. I need to have an iPhone. I need to have a lot of followers and likes. But I don't. I'm not skinny, nor do I have a thigh gap. I don't wear what Tumblr wants me to wear. I just throw on a shirt, jeans, shoes, and I'm out the door. I don't wake up an hour early to contour my face, draw the perfect wing, and make my lips look as big as Kylie Jenner's. I'd rather sleep. I don't have straight teeth. They're crooked. I don't have an iPhone. I have a Huawei, and I bet half of you don't even know that company. I don't have a lot of followers because I don't add random people. I add friends, and I'm not saying that this is all wrong. If wearing makeup and the latest trends and having 1,000 followers is being you, then don't let anyone or anything stop you from doing that. But if you're doing this to fit in, you should reconsider what you're doing. But not only girls are pressured, boys are too. I know a lot of guys are pressured into working out because society expects you to be big, muscular, and strong. But guess what? A study shows that 75% of women prefer fat guys over muscular guys. But this doesn't mean you stop working out. This means you question yourself if you're doing this for others or yourself. Also, there is no rule that guys can't cry or wear pink. All humans cry, so guys should be able to cry and wear pink without being judged. So my question in the beginning was, are we all beautiful in our own way? My answer is no. Think about it. Society tells us that to be beautiful you have to follow its rules, which means girls have to be skinny, even if it means to starve themselves. You have to wear makeup and the latest trends, and overall look like the girls in magazines. So if every girl is like this, then all the girls look the same. same goes for boys. If every guy tries to look like the models in magazines, they're all going to look the same. So if everyone looks the same, no one will be beautiful in their own way. And I know some people do this to fit in and be accepted by society, because if they don't, then they feel left out and might even be teased about it. But let's face it, the real bully isn't society, it's inside of you. A bully is someone who puts another person down, and you're the one who's putting yourself down by agreeing with society. If society tells you that you are fat, it's up to you how you're going to accept the fact. Are you going to put yourself down, or are you going to embrace it? And let's be real here. Accepting your flaws isn't easy. It's one of the hardest things to do. I have trouble accepting my flaws too, and sometimes I'm even uncomfortable in my own skin. But once you accept your flaws, life will be so much easier. Just like they say, YOLO. So don't waste your life doing what others want you to do. Do what you want to do. True happiness is doing what you love, and that is true beauty. This is your life. Make it beautiful.
I'm of hard work and dedication, of decent grades and missed classes, of small houses with big yards, and of love that will never fade. I am of crowded homes with loud but loving voices, of 3 siblings, plus the ones I've taken as my own, of borrowed clothes and repurposed jars. I am of family morals and common sense, of late nights and early mornings. I am of never-ending books and music on repeat, of pride for my family, but little for myself, of sleepless nights and counted hours. I am of the masses that believe in equality, but face discrimination for things that I cannot change. I am of racial comments and exclusion, of unsolved issues because adults fear the word racist. I am of the minority in the area I live, of blatant stares as I walk down the street, of disgusted or unsettled faces that I often see. I am of white skin with brown hair and blue tips, of shoes that let the water in when it rains, and assumed traits that I do not hold.
Most of what I have learned about the world comes from the media. The media has a set way of portraying everything around us. It tells us what is good and bad, wrong and right. Maybe some of my thoughts and opinions aren't even mine. Maybe they've just been influenced by the way the media shows the world around me. Because of the media, there are certain misconceptions about different people, cultures, and even places. Take Surrey, for example. Many people who have never been here automatically assume that it's full of violence because of what's on the media. It's not the truth, but that's all we see on the headlines. Surrey is much more than how the media portrays it. There's so much good happening all around us, every day. The media leaves out things like the sense of community and all the green space and nature we have here. If I ever need to learn about a new culture, the first place I would go to for information is the internet. I would read different articles on that culture. But how do I know that the information given to me is correct? How will I be sure that it is true without experiencing it for myself? And what about how we see each other? We stereotype others based on what they wear, how they act, and the people they associate themselves with. But everyone is so much more than the stereotypes we affiliate them with. They don't define us. Women are not weaker than men. Not every Muslim or Arab you see is a terrorist, and men can be sensitive. They are allowed to feel and express their emotions. We've grown up with all these thoughts about the world, and most of them couldn't be further from reality. I could go through my whole life without knowing the truth, and that scares me. Whether I want to admit it or not, the media does control certain aspects of my life. And as much as I want to, I can control the content on the media. But what I can control is my perspective. I have to remember that there is some truth to what is said, but I won't believe everything they say.
When I was little, I loved to watch movies. Movies were a big part of my life. I loved them not because of the storyline, but instead the people who played them. I was astonished about how well the actors were able to deceive and trick the audience into making them believe they were something that, in actuality, they were not. Taylor Lautner, for instance. Who would have ever guessed a boy from Michigan could be half man, half wolf? That's why when I was younger, I knew that actors were nothing but lying, manipulative hooligans. And I wanted to be part of that. Only problem was, I was Asian.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
No, I realized while watching these movies that there were a lot of leading actors that looked similar. You know, nice hair, stern face, chiseled jawline. I wanted to know, where were the people who I could relate to? If you paid as much attention as I did to actors in movies, you'd know that the only roles that an Asian person would play is this. Or this. I swear you'll never see an Asian guy in a romantic movie. It just doesn't happen. And if it did, it would probably look like this. It's like there's this great wall that divides us, and that does not allow certain people to do certain things, and that's the big problem. Asian people are expected in society to become doctors or rocket scientists. I want to win an Oscar, not save lives. But how am I supposed to do that when the only roles I can land are one-liners, background roles, and or roles where I'm fighting? It just doesn't make sense. However, I am not a quitter. I will find a way to break this racial boundary, and I realized over the years, society has slowly become more accepting. We are starting to see more films and shows with a strong ethnic presence. Shows such as Fresh Off the Boat, which has a whole cast of Asian actors. This is just the start of a whole new beginning in the film industry. A revolution, some may say. Soon a whole new wave of actors with different faces will appear, and one day, it'll be an Asian guy stealing spotlight and the girls in Hollywood. My last question is there anybody out there looking for a 6-foot Asian male to take part in their film?
Social media has taken its own toll on today's society, affecting teenagers and tearing apart younger generations, including my generation. I see this happening every day, and sometimes it just hurts to watch what was supposed to be bonding time transform into phone time. I remember driving by the park one day, and I saw a 7th grade kid. The kid was on the swing while on his phone, looking as if he was trying to catch a glimpse of reality, but the reality just couldn't make it to him. It seemed as if he was trying to be outside playing, but no one was there. His only connection to his friends was through his phone. Ever since that day, the image sticks into my mind. Whenever I see something similar happen, it just makes me wish that these pocket computers didn't gain so much traction. Before, people used to talk to each other. Now everybody's looking at their phones. I remember my childhood, when life was something that we could only experience together. Late night games of Monopoly that lasted 5 hours at times. Playing video games with my older sisters, only to have the game reset because I was winning. Constantly rebuilding the Tower of Jenga, just like the way we would build our relationships with each other. That's what I remember, and that's what I wish the next generation will remember too.
Who am I? I'm simply a person in need. Aren't we all? In need of warmth, comfort, and better yet, love. Life will always be a battle. Are these words sounding familiar? From every corner of the battlefield, there's always going to be something or someone, or even myself targeting my weaknesses and playing around with it to test my strength. I go through life thinking that I'm going to get through it no matter what perspective anyone may have on me. But that's where I'm wrong. It turns out that in today's society, I will get affected by what people think of me no matter what. People have shut me out, betrayed me, and made me feel like I was simply ignored. Was it the way I talked? The way I represented myself on a daily basis? Is it the color of my skin? The people who made me me? I've tried to find my strength during those times. I guess I was too hurt inside. People found the opportunity to define me themselves. I actually comprehended where they were coming from. Realizing that my life threw all these obstacles in my way made my mindset narrow at a point, but it created a much more wider and confidence I developed within. People will use your weakness against you, but that's where it begins. It never starts with your strength carrying you throughout. There's something to learn from specifically, and people will only use my weakness only to lift themselves up. But my downtimes is something that will result as my strengths, and it will last because I started from the bottom and made my way to the top. Those who start from the top will make their way to the bottom only to discover their weakness. So who am I? I'm undefeated. For as long as I live, my life could throw any stick, stone, obstacle at me, but I'll stay true, confident, and wise. I'll stay a conqueror.
Humans are powerful beings. They are capable of creating great things. But why do we use our power for no good? We are able to create world peace, yet we are breaking our world into pieces. We say that we are fixing global warming, but how long will it be before we finally go extinct? How long will we put other species in danger and make them suffer? We strive for power, even if it means the death of others. I feel sorry for the future generations. They won't be able to breathe the same air that we did. I don't even know if the air we breathe is clean. We separate each other by our wealth, status, and power. But is that why the people who have less are more happy? Why can't we realize that no matter how powerful we become, we will all become powerless when we are put into the grave? How long will it take for us to find happiness? Have we already found it? So I hope that we change. Change for the better. Change for others. Change for our planet. Change for ourselves. Growing up, I always thought that the world would stay the same no matter what we did. We cut down a few trees. Who cares? They'll grow back. We killed a few people. Who cares? That's history. In my eyes, humans were kind beings that cared about others no matter what differences we shared. Or at least that's what I was taught. Going to a school where the classes were like a microcosm of the world, my eyes were open to many perspectives and worldviews. People had many opinions about the way that we viewed the world, and that greatly impacted the way I viewed it. We were born powerless but with a purpose to live, love, and experience happiness. But is that what we strive for? Do we really want happiness, or are we just greedy, looking for wealth, success, and power, so we can seem powerful enough for people to obey us? But is it worth it? Why do we measure self-worth by our materialistic possessions? The day we leave this earth, we will give another poor soul our possessions so that they can feel complete. Can we change? We are kind, generous, and helpful beings. We strive for greatness, to achieve happiness. We care for others knowing that they might not care back. We spend countless hours wondering how to please others, and yet we can't please ourselves. We work hard, knowing that we'll get a reward. We are able to feel fulfilled even when we don't have much. These qualities display the good side of our race. We are all powerful in our own ways. So here's a question to think about. We claim that we're human, but are we?
My name is Brinder Nahar. I was born in Italy. I was 12 years old when my family decided to move to Canada. On September 6, 2012, we flew to America to visit my grandfather and other relatives. After spending a month in California visiting my family, I had to come to Canada. I landed at Vancouver International Airport. Soccer helped me to settle in this community, and it was a way for me to make friends. On my first day of school, I went outside because it was a recess break. I joined a group of grade 7 friends that were playing soccer. I was running towards the ball and I slipped, and I fell on my back. I thought that everybody would be laughing at me, but instead they were asking me if I was okay. This made me realize that I didn't need to be a person from here to be a part of this community. Sports is a way for people to feel concluded in a community, so they could feel wanted. Feeling wanted gives a different kind of happiness, and it motivates you to something that you have never done before. Check this out.
As I grew up doing the things what people told me to do. From that, my actions were like the reflections of someone else's opinion. Appreciation to me is a higher level of happiness because it sustains through the bad and good. Through my life, I always struggled motivating myself through the wrong intentions. With the sense, the success, and the money is what will make you happy. With intentions like that, life would never be satisfying, like climbing a never-ending ladder. What society tells you to do or not to do determines how your whole life will play out. By beating yourself up if things don't play out, always struggling for the next step to success. But if you look deeper through those struggles, what are you struggling for? The feeling of accomplishment, money, and status? These things are temporary happiness in life and don't last forever. I grew up with a mindset of always being ambitious on being above everyone else, but never took the time to look around and feel how blessed I was. With appreciation, I realized how alive I was in being able to be living in a place like this. Everything here is convenient, from the clothes we can buy to the food across the street. Why do I base my life on the wrong reasons, growing to become someone of perception instead of my truest self? If we took the time to realize and appreciate love and the things around us, we wouldn't be so shallow. Because we are more than that, I am more than that, and through my actions serve a greater purpose above anything else.
When I am asked about my culture, I say that I'm Polish, because I am. I speak the language, I eat the food, I live the life. But there are parts of me that whisper, I don't know. I've only met my birth father once, and the only facts that I know about him are his name and that he is of Asian descent. When I am asked about that part of me, I am at a loss of what to say. The truth is, I don't really know that part of me. And because of that, I sometimes feel as though I am incomplete, that a part of me is missing. I've asked my parents about him, but there's only so much they want to tell me, only so much that I'm ready to hear. But then there are times when I'm laughing with my friends without a care in the world, and the feeling of being incomplete is absent. Or when I'm talking with my sister about our past, present, and future, and all I feel is joy. The joy of reliving old memories and anticipating new ones. Even a task as simple as watching TV with my family allows me to feel whole and complete, that nothing was ever missing. It makes me wonder though, if I had known about my birth father's identity and culture from the start, would it have really changed the person I am today? I realize now that knowing who my birth father is, and knowing what his culture is, isn't as important to who I am as an individual as I thought. Who I am as a person depends on my personality, my experiences, the fact that I like reading and writing, and the fact that I don't like waking up early. Even the people who raised me, the people who I was raised with, as well as my environment play a big role in the person I am today. So yes, my culture is Polish. I speak the language, I eat the food, and I live the life. But I am also half Asian. I still don't know that part of me. Not yet at least. And I'm okay with that.
Feeling so lost, stumbling around, running from my world, tearing me down. There is no room in their narrow minds for someone who dreams of learning to fly. But then now from this darkness, you reached down, took my hand. An ember turned to flame, and light replaced the pain. I will not bow, I will stay strong, and I'll play my spirit song. With you by my side, I don't have to hide, and I know that I'm never alone. Head in the clouds, not coming down. Just wanna be free, free to be me. They tell me I'm wrong to wake up and see that my hopes and dreams are just fantasy. Yeah, but then now from this darkness, you reached down, took my hand. An ember turned to flame, and light replaced the pain. I will not bow, I will stay strong, and I'll play my spirit song. With you by my side, I don't have to hide, and I know that I'm never alone. Not afraid any longer to show how I have grown stronger. I feel like I can fly. I'm standing proud tonight. I'm not afraid any longer to show how I have grown stronger. I feel like I can fly. I'm standing proud tonight.